They're going to try to win all the games they play. I mean, they have, I think, up to 11 games left in this season. 2 regular season, 3 in the conference tournament, and then 6 in the NCAA tournament. They're going to try to win all 11. And that includes that game to end the season in Memphis. It's going to be way more important to Memphis, but the rivalry, the Cougar culture, all those things, they're going to try to ruin Memphis' senior day in front of those fans. Trust and believe.
Yeah, I think what we saw from Tremont, we can really expect a lot next season. I think we'll see Houston play through him even more, and because he's really a complete scorer. He's really like a bucket getter, but he also really excels in playing in the pick and roll action because he can pass so well. And so with him already showing that he can be someone who can knock down the three and defend and rebound, I think it may be even to come in the tournament that he can put a good display run of games like he had today and help carry Houston to the promised land. But Tremont is really developing as such a complete player, just like all of Houston players normally do in their system. I was really happy to see him have the game that he had tonight.
And, it was mentioned during the broadcast, and I think Coach Sampson told the announcers, which, we've known this, but this team has probably 6 guys who could lead the team in scoring on any given night. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, this team is balanced, and they're winning different ways. They're winning with offense, winning with defense. They're scoring in transition a little bit more. Sometimes they win with making free throws. I mean, they're winning with different ways. As long as they can stay healthy, they have a good chance to compete and win the national championship this year.
And if they do that, I know someone mentioned another school in Texas. Imagine if that school offers Kellen. That'd be something to think about. After we win the championship.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying.
you know what I'm saying? That'd be because typically when you win championships, they try to get those coaches off their staff. And he's already a good name and a proven coach. So that'd be something to think about. But
I would lean more toward Quanez White because he's older and he's been around longer as a coach. And he's very respected. You know Dayon, Andy, with what he's done for the guards.
But you think as Texas, they thinking names, and he has.
Oh no, With Texas, I don't believe the Longhorns would go with an unproven assistant coach. They really want a splashy guy.
Yeah.
But Quanez, he might be this summer's Jerome Tang. Assistant coach for a long time at a program. Let's see if if Quanez can be the one to give us the Tang magic, kind of thing.
Have instant success like that.
Yep.
Yeah. For sure.
And who would be the biggest advocate for any of his assistant coaches and potentially being a head coach somewhere else, and it would be Kelvin Sampson again. It kind of all ties back into a week ago Wednesday Zoom availability, where he said his assistant coaches, he said, when they leave Houston, they're going to be ready to be head coaches at their own program because he delegates, he gives them all responsibilities, really something that he picked up during his time in the NBA. And he always goes back to when he first just was an advisor with the San Antonio Spurs, and he saw how Greg Popovich deferred to all his assistants. So if that were to happen, Kelvin will be the first to say, be the biggest advocate for them to be able to take a head coaching gig elsewhere, whether it is a school as big as Texas or somewhere else. But in regards to, and Chris, like you said, that's what stood out to me as well. Kind of the comment that King Jaja pointed out that I put on the screen, and again, kind of going back to the pettiness of it, but whether they put an emphasis on a conference tournament, Houston's going to the NCAA tournament regardless. But that last game at the FedEx Forum, it very well could be the final time that Houston plays Memphis a while. There's a good chance they meet in the conference tournament as well. But again, going back to the mentality of the team, is not going to be something where they can just ease up. If anything, I would say the remaining 2 games, you might start to see more playing from the younger guys, not too much. It would be like load management if you want to compare it to the NBA. But what do you think about potentially integrating, say, Terrence Arsenault, Javier Francis more into being able to allow them to play through mistakes in the next final 2 games of the regular season?
No, I don't know. I think Houston is still keeping in sights with the seeding. I think they do want to be a number one overall seed, and they don't want to drop no games or nothing to risk being the highest seed that they can achieve. And so I don't think that's in this. And I think that still can disrupt the rhythm and the flow of the team. What kind of play? I mean, it depends on how the game goes. Game is a game to game, but I don't foresee that. Another thing I was thinking about is Coach Sampson. Although he demands so much effort on the defensive end, offensively he gives his players so much freedom to really do what they do best. And if they have it going, then he'll feed them. So, and I think that's why so many kids have success in his system and scoring in the system, because he had a lot of scores, and they all have kind of really relished because he gives them so much freedom on the offensive end. I think that just bodes well into how great of a coach he is, and I think he's going to continue to get more and more talent because they're going to see how he's developing and how much freedom they really have, as long as they lock in on the defensive end.
Yeah, that's Andy. I think Arsenal and Sharp could get more minutes if in Thursday's game if they do a good job on defense. Terrence had 2 fouls because he got out of position, and you saw Coach talk to Terrence on the sideline about his second foul. So if he does, if both of them do a better job defensively against Wichita State, they might get a few more minutes. But I don't see them playing 25 minutes Thursday against Wichita State.
No, for sure.
15 to 18 maybe for each of them. Win the game. It's senior night. Don't want to, have a loss for your seniors, and then go to Memphis on Sunday and ruin their senior day. They still want to win all their games. Deion has a great point. The Cougs still want to win as much as possible to improve and enhance getting a number one seed.
And I think going forward, people are kind of speculating if we'll play Memphis again. And you know how Coach Sampson mentions how hard it is for them to get games? Memphis is going to be a team that's willing to play Houston. And so I could foresee that matchup continuing, especially in the non-conference.
I think it's possible for sure. Penny has much respect for Coach Sampson.
It'll be a quad one game.
So it could be, at minimum, it could be a matchup in Dickies Arena at neutral site in December. Could do that.
Yeah.